So go ahead, write down the topic: beyond possessions, the true measures of success. Beyond possessions, the true measures of success. I'm going to start by making a very, very interesting statement, one that you should ponder on. And that is that success is one of the most commonly used and widely discussed words in the world today. The word success is one word that everybody uses, everybody talks about. We teach about it, we talk about it. There are books that have been written about it, there are trainings online about it, a lot of YouTube videos teach about success. Everybody desires to be success. You literally cannot go through 24 hours without hearing the word success. Yet it is interesting to know that the meaning of success varies greatly from one person to another. In other words, different people have different definitions of success. Everybody, if I ask us to define success now, I'm very sure that everybody here would have a different definition of success. In fact, let me try. Go ahead, write your definition of success in the comments. Go ahead and pen down your definition of success. What is success to you? Very quickly, go ahead and put that down in the comment. What does success mean to you? Everybody have their definition of success. I have my own definition. I know that Blessing has half our own definition. Sabo Salem, you have your own definition. Different people have different definitions of success. There is hardly a single definition of success that everybody agrees on, right? There is no universal definition of success. So when I say the word success, in your head, the picture that is painted is different from the picture that is painted in another person's head. There is no singular definition of success that everybody agrees on. And you see how you define success. This is important because how you define success will determine how you will approach success. Justice says success is measured by who you have become and the impact you see. Let me get two definitions. Paul says success means achieving a worthy goal and dream, especially when it is inspired by God. Now you see the disparity. Queen Esther says the success is a sense of fulfillment, similar to that of Oluwaseun. So we can see very clearly that people have different definition of success, right? And this is very, very important because how you define success will determine how you approach success. Your definition of success will determine the kind of goals you set. It will determine your values. It will determine the things that you are willing to sacrifice, your compromise, the things you are willing to compromise. It will determine the things that you are willing to trade off. It will determine your priorities. Your definition of success will literally determine how you live your life. If you have a wrong definition of success, your approach towards success will be wrong. And there are consequences that are tied to a negative definition of success. For example, there are people who define success solely from the amount of money you have in your bank account. So if you don't have money, you are not successful. There are people like that, people who are obsessed with money. I used to have a friend then, he calls money Kalu. He would say that if you don't have Kalu, you are just a waste to society. And I would just laugh. There are people who see money as the sole parameter that defines success. If you do not have money, you are not successful. And it is this kind of people that usually will compromise on their values. They will compromise on morals to have money because of the definition that they have of success, right? For example, you hear of cases of people who kill to make money. We have the case in all over Africa, what we call Yahoo Yahoo. There's even Yahoo Plus now. People do all sorts of dubious things. Some people even go to the length of killing another human being just to have money so that they can be successful, so that they can look successful. There are people who kill their mother, kill their father, kill their loved one. There are many people who have killed their girlfriends, right? You hear of situations like that almost on a monthly basis. If you follow the news, I think it was 2 months ago or 3 months ago, a young man was in the East now or so who hacked his girlfriend, his supposed girlfriend, used knife to butcher her, cut her hair, her head, remove, some of the valuable organs in her system. All organs are valuable, but remove things like her heart, some of the major organs. And the goal of doing all of this is to sell the organs so that he can have money. You see, and that is because of the definition of success that has been painted for that kind of people. And this is what society has painted success as money. If you don't have money, you don't matter, right? On social media, no wonder people, flash their possessions. People put out their valuables online just to sell a perception of success, right? There are young ladies who will do what they call hookup now, sleep around with men, with rich men, just to make money so that they can, have that perception of success. Why am I sharing this? Your definition of success will determine your approach to success. Your definition of success will determine what you are willing to compromise or not compromise for it. This is why it is very important for us to have an accurate, universal definition of success. We cannot leave the definition of success to chance, especially in our present dispensation, where the world is beginning to paint a very destructive picture of what success is. And you have young people who are doing a lot of dubious things to have success because they have a wrong perspective. They have a wrong, picture of success in their mind. And this is what the Leverage Conference is all about: redefining success, repainting success, creating an accurate definition of success so that we can begin to approach success from a very moral, from the right perspective and from the right way. It is very important to define success, especially in our present age. And this is what my discourse for tonight's teaching, Beyond Possession, is all about. It is the primary focus of my teaching tonight. I want to give us what I call an accurate definition of success, what the Bible calls good success. How do you define this kind of success? Now, based on my observation and study, I have come to discover that there are three common definitions of success that are destructive and can lead to negative consequences. So you can write that down as a heading if you're writing: three common definitions of success that are destructive and can lead to negative consequences. Number one, the first destructive definition of success that we have in the society is that the definition of success that is solely from the perspective of financial abundance and material possession. I'll repeat that one more time. The definition of success that is solely from the perspective of financial abundance and material possessions. You can put column. You can put column and write this down. Success is all about how much money you have in your bank account, the size of your house, the number and quality of cars you drive, and so on and so forth. So that's the definition. When you write, remember, I'm talking about the definitions of success that people have that are destructive, the common definitions of success. And I said number one is the definition of success that is solely from the perspective of financial abundance and material possessions. And that is Success is all about how much money you have in your bank account, the size of your house, the number and quality of cars you drive, and so on. There are people who define success from this perspective, solely from this perspective. So when they want to measure success, they will first check you out. How much do you have in your bank account? Right? How much, what kind of house do you live in? What kind of car do you drive in? If you don't seem to have this material possession, then according to their parameter, you are not successful. A classical example of someone who defines success from this perspective is Judas Iscariot. How many of us know Judas Iscariot? Now, Judas Iscariot defined success solely from the perspective of financial abundance, and this is why he sold Jesus for 30 shekels of silver. While I was preparing for tonight's teaching, I checked on ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, how much is 30 shekels of silver based on today's currency in Naira? And you wouldn't believe that 30 shekels of silver is just around 600,000 Naira, not up to 1,000,000 Naira. That's what will happen to you when you view when you view success from the perspective of money. You will do very crazy things. Crazy things. There are people who do all sorts of foolish things. Have you not heard of people who trade their life? They literally give their life and say, I'm not going to live past 30. You are 20-year-old and you go and do a sacrifice and say they should make you wealthy and you will not live past 30. Is that wise? Is that wise? So this is what Judas did. Sold Jesus for 600,000 Naira. And at the end of the day, when he had the money, he discovered that he lost his peace and he ended up committing suicide. He got to find out that success was not all about money. Are you seeing it? May you not have the things that you call success only to discover that they are not really success when you have compromised what it really means to be successful. Are you seeing it? There are people who have lost their family, had to lose their family on account of the pursuit of career and the pursuit of finances, all because they defined success from a standpoint of financial abundance. It was after they lost their spouse, lost their children. That's when it now dawned on them that, Kai, it seems as if success is not all about money. Oh. Our world today defines success primarily from the perspective of money. That's why you see the obsession, the crazy things that people do. People, do very foolish things. People do prostitutions. Young ladies do hookup. Not because they don't have what to feed. Many ladies who sleep around is not because they don't have their basic needs met. They do these things for status. Me too, I want to drive a G-Wagon. Me too, I want to drive a Lamborghini. You see a young man who is living a comfortable life, he goes to go and sacrifice his mother or sacrifice his girlfriend, kill somebody. How would you sleep? Are you seeing it? So this is the first destructive definition of success that many people have. Are we ready for number two? Are we ready for number two? Number two, it is the definition of success solely from the perspective of fame and popularity. You can put column and write, success is all about how popular you are, measured by your social media likes, views, and follows. I'll repeat that one more time for the sake of those of us who are writing. That the second definition of success that is destructive and will lead to negative consequences is the definition of success that is solely from the perspective of fame and popularity. Column, double dot. You know what column is? That success is all about how popular you are, measured by your social media likes, views, and followers. This is a very destructive definition of success. You see people do very crazy things online just to have followers, just to have people like their videos. You go on Instagram, over 80% of the young ladies who are there now, they are literally dancing half naked. Half naked, literally. Why are they doing all of those things? They want the likes. They want the follows. There is this satisfaction they derive when people click like on their video. It makes them feel successful. There is this satisfaction they derive when they see 2 million followers or 2 million views or 1 million likes. That feeling of insecurity is what drives them to pursue success from this perspective. So if I don't have likes, I am not successful. So people do all sorts of crazy things. A lot of content on social media these days are sexualized. You will see somebody selling toothpaste and they are putting a naked lady as the cover of the toothpaste, that they are selling. What concerns a naked lady and toothpaste? Somebody, at least for soap, I can understand, or for cream. But for toothpaste, everybody has teeth. Are you seeing it? You don't have to be naked for you to brush your teeth. So you see a lot of sexualized content. People do all sorts of crazy things, post controversial content. In fact, there's what they call clickbait. How many of us know what they call clickbait? Where people put something that is false. For example, somebody can just put Joshua Selman's net worth is 1.2 billion. How did you measure it? How did you know that is 1.2 billion? You just want people to like your video. You just want people to follow, and then you should have 20,000 likes, 20,000 views. That's a very wrong definition of success. All these things are part of the equation of success. But if you define success solely from this perspective, then if you will compromise on your values, you will compromise on your standards, and you will do things that you will end up regretting. I saw a video, a deep fake video. People are now creating what they call deep fake. They will carry somebody's video and do a deep fake, and you will think that is the person that is talking, a misleading, communication. Why are they doing all of that? They want likes, they want follows, right? How many of us know a man they call Captain Ibrahim Traore? He's the president now of Burkina Faso. He came in by a coup. I was surprised. I was going through, was it Instagram now? And then I saw a video of him speaking English. I know that that man hardly speaks English. He speaks French, right? Only for me to look at the video very clearly, and I noticed that it was a deep fake video. It was an AI generated video. And they wrote a very misleading caption. They wrote, US wants to invade Burkina Faso, and Ibrahim Traore is saying why they should not, or saying something. Can you imagine? And the person who is doing that is just because he wants likes. He wants people to follow his content. So our generation has defined success from the perspective of, fame and popularity, from social media likes, from social media views, from social media followers. Just because somebody has 10 million followers on Instagram does not mean they are successful. Your number of likes does not define your success. No. I'll be sharing with us some of the parameters very shortly. But it's very important we know this very destructive definition of success so that we don't base our lives on these things. Number three, the third definition of success that is destructive and can lead to negative consequences is the definition of success that is solely from the perspective of titles and positions of power and authority. The definition of success that is solely from the perspective of titles and positions of power and authority. You can put column. Success is all about titles you hold, the positions you occupy, and the power or authority you command over others. This is how this category of people define success. That success is all about titles, the titles you hold, the positions you occupy, and the power or authority you command over others. I remember, attending a church service one time, and then I think it was a lunch or something, and then they were calling the names of people to come and launch. Was it a magazine now? They're calling the names of the people one after the other to come and launch. And then they called this woman, Mrs. XYZ, and people put their hands together for her. And the woman did not stand up. I was so surprised. Why is this woman not standing up? Like, it was so embarrassing. And then the woman called for the mic. And she called for the mic, collected the mic while sitting down. She said, I am not Mrs. I am Professor Mrs. She called her name. In other words, if you don't add the prof to that name, are you seeing it? You have not recognized me. My God. There are people who live their life solely from the perspective of title. This is why in Africa we have people who can do anything, commit genocide just to become the president of a nation. There are people who can do anything whatsoever. This is why politics is very bloody, because people define success from a standpoint of position and title and status and power and authority. So if I'm not the governor, right, I don't feel successful. So they set it as a life ambition, a life goal for me to become the president. There was a one-time president, I'm not going to call any name here. There's a one-time president who said that if he does not become president, there will be bloodshed. Can you imagine that kind of statement? That kind of wicked statement? How can you say if you don't become president, there will be bloodshed? It means that you have defined success by title. There are people who get their satisfaction, get their fulfillment, get their drive from titles and positions and all of that. This is one of the reasons why I love Jesus, not from a religious perspective. Jesus, you will not hear Dr. Jesus or Professor Jesus or Pastor Jesus or Apostle Jesus. Is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Yet, over 2,000 years later, over 30% of the entire world population are followers of this man called Jesus. And he didn't have a title. Who told you you need a title to be successful? There are people who are obsessed with titles, who are obsessed with positions of power. And with all due respect, I'm not saying this to shade anybody, but if you are a northerner, you have to be very careful. It's something that I've seen with northerners, people who are from the north. There is this obsession for power. Somehow, they just feel like it is my right. It is my right to be the chairman. It is my right to be the president. It is my right to be this. It's very destructive. If you are obsessed about anything, you will do very destructive things to have it. If you are desperate about anything, desperation is very dangerous. When you are desperate, your eye is closed. It is after you have done what you want to do that you will now begin to see the consequences. Thank you. In fact, let me shed some light on the comment. Julius said, I'm very blessed. I'm happy you are blessed. Amazing. So it is very, very important that you have an accurate definition of success. These, in my opinion, are the three destructive perspectives of success that people have. Three destructive perspective of success that people have that has, destroyed a lot of people. That number one, they define success solely from the perspective of financial abundance and material possession. Number two, they define success solely from the perspective of fame and popularity from social media likes and social media follows. Number three, that they define success solely from the perspective of titles and positions of power and authority. If you define success from any of these perspectives, you are wrong. So, if these definitions are wrong, what then is the correct definition of success? Let's look at Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. What then is the correct definition of success? Somebody go ahead, put it up for me in the comments. Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. We don't have it up yet. This book of the law, let me paraphrase before we get it up. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate on it day and night. He says, and then thou shalt have good success. You will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. This is me paraphrasing now. Now, but the emphasis I want us to see, thank you so much, blessing. It says, keep this book of the law always on your lips. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. It says, meditate on it day and night so that you may be careful to do everything in it. Then you will be prosperous. I think the KJV says, and you will make your way and you will have good success. Now, what I want us to see is that there is a kind of success that the Bible calls good success. Good success. That means if there is good success, there is also bad success. And it is bad success that I just defined for us. Write this down. There are two major reasons why it is important to have an accurate definition of success. There are two major reasons why it is important to have an accurate definition of what we call success. Number one is that you cannot arrive at a destination you do not know. You cannot arrive at a destination you do not know. If you do not have a definition of success, how then will you know when you become successful? There must be a clear definition of success that empowers you to know that, okay, at this point, I am successful. If you don't have a definition of success, how then will you know you are successful? Number two, the second reason why you need an accurate definition of success is because how you define success will determine your approach and your experience of it. How you define success will determine how you approach success and your overall experience. I already talked about this shortly. When you define success from a standpoint of money, your approach towards success will be, to make money. Chances are you will compromise on your health, compromise on your family values, compromise on your faith to have money, to have success because of that definition. And your experience will be painted from that perspective. So, how you define success will determine your approach and your overall experience. Before I share with us and then I wrap up what I consider to be the accurate definition of success, because I've been studying about this for about 5 years. In fact, this is one of my assignments as a personal development trainer, to redefine success to my generation, because a lot of young people have very destructive definition of success, like I've shared with us. So for over 5 years now, I've been doing a lot of study, trying to find out what really is success. When can you say somebody is successful? Do I say somebody is successful because they have 20 billion or 50 billion? What really is a holistic definition of success? Before I share my perspective or my discovery with you, let me share with us two definitions that I found during my research that I consider most accurate in terms of their painting a picture of what success is. Two definitions of success that I consider most accurate, even though they are not balanced, but I consider them an accurate definition of success, although not balanced. Number one, are we ready? The first definition is that from El Nightingale. It is the definition of success from the perspective of goals. The definition of success from the perspective of goals. You can put column. That success is the progressive fulfillment of a worthy goal. Success is the progressive fulfillment of a worthy goal. What does this mean? For example, if I set a goal to host the leverage conference and then I make progress towards achieving that goal, then I am successful. If you set a goal to maybe lose weight and you start going to the gym based on this definition, you are successful. If you set a goal to write a book, right, and you make progress towards writing the book based on this definition, you are successful. In my opinion, this is a very good definition of success. However, there are limitations. The first limitation of this definition is that it is personal and not generic. This definition is personal and not generic. In other words, you see, you cannot say that it is the same for everybody because people have different definition of what their goal is. For me, my goal can be maybe to become a millionaire. Another person's goal can be to marry a very beautiful wife. Are you seeing it? So it is not a generic definition of success. It is a personal definition of success. Is one of the limitations. The second limitation is that it does not capture a holistic picture of success. So if your goal is to write a book, how about that if you are writing that book, you now lose your marriage? Are you seeing it? So it doesn't capture a holistic definition of success. If your goal, for example, is to host the leverage conference, and in the process of hosting the leverage conference, you now fall sick. Are you seeing it? Is not You are not successful because you have lost your health in the process. So it is not a holistic definition of success. This is the shortcoming. This is the limitation of this definition. The second definition that I have found to be most accurate, and in my opinion, I consider this the most accurate definition of success, even though again it is not balanced, is the definition by my revered mentor of blessed memory, Dr. Miles Monroe. Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory. And this is the definition of success from the perspective, the definition of success from the perspective of impact and purpose. Column, that success is the effective, accurate, and efficient fulfillment of purpose. That success is the effective, the accurate, and the efficient fulfillment of purpose. So this definition of success is from the perspective of purpose. And I consider this the most accurate definition of success. Why? Because the major reason why God put us on the earth is so that we can fulfill purpose. The primary reason for our existence is so that we can fulfill purpose. So it makes sense to define success from the perspective of purpose. If you are not fulfilling purpose, no matter what you achieve on earth, you are not successful. That's what this definition is saying. So if you like, be Dangote. If you like, be Mark Zuckerberg. Have all the money in the world. If you are not doing what God asked you to do, if you are not fulfilling your assignment, you will not. You are not considered successful. And this is a very powerful definition of success because we have a lot of people do not define success from the perspective of purpose at all. A lot of people are only concerned about what to eat, what to drink, how much money they have in their bank account. Nobody cares about purpose these days. But let me tell you, you will only be fulfilled when you are working in purpose. Fulfillment is tied to purpose, right? You are not considered successful if you are not making progress in purpose and in destiny. But again, like I said, this definition has a shortcoming, it has a limitation. And what is the limitation? It does not capture a holistic picture of success. Again, because you are just defining success from the standpoint of purpose, fulfilling purpose and fulfilling destiny. There are people who have lost their marriage on account of fulfilling purpose and fulfilling destiny. Would you say they are successful? There are a lot of people who are so engrossed. You hear of footballers who, because of their busy schedule and their busy nature, or even pastors or men of God who end up losing their marriage, losing their family because of that pursuit for purpose, that pursuit for destiny. Would you say they are successful? No. If in your pursuit of purpose you lose your health, or your pursuit of purpose you die, you say you are successful? No, it is not holistic in its definition. But in my own opinion, this is one of the most accurate definition of success. Now let me share with us what I consider from my own perspective to be the definition, the accurate definition of success. Like I told us, for over 5 years, I've been doing a lot of research, trying to find out, what really is success. Not just based on my own opinion, right? What really is success? I did studied a lot of people, even went through the Bible to find out what is the definition of success. And for me, like I would always share with us, that the Bible for me is a book of reference. Anything that is not based on something that is solid is an opinion. There are people who run their life based on opinion. You will not last, right? You can't just stand up and say that this is what success is without finding out a solid foundation. Anything that is based on opinion can change, right? This is why when I want to make research like this, I always go to the Bible, and I go to the Bible to study to find out, okay, what does the Bible say about success? Because for me, the Bible is my own book of reference. Whatever the Bible says for me is a final authority. I believe so much in the Bible, not from the perspective of religion. No, I'm not a religious person at all. For me, the Bible is like a manual of success, that anybody who studies the Bible, truly studies the Bible, will not fail in life and in destiny, right? Even if you are not a Christian, even if you are not a believer, if you study the Bible, it is full with, with principles that will guarantee your success. Just the book of Proverbs alone can make you a success. I know of a lot of people who are not believers, who are not Christians, who read the book of Proverbs to glean wisdom. So I view the Bible from that perspective as a compendium of laws and principles that govern success. So I did my research, finding out, what does the Bible talk about success? What does the Bible say about success? And there is a scripture that stood out for me. And that's the scripture, Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. So someone put it up for us in King James Version. Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. Very interesting scripture. Very interesting scripture. Proverbs chapter 1 verse 8. Do we have it up? Joshua 1 8. Can you guys hear me now? So sorry. Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. Somebody find it and put it up for us. The King James Version. The King James Version. It says, let me paraphrase again, that this book of the law, thank you. Thank you. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth. It says, but thou shalt meditate on it. Thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. Can we have verse 9? So please help us with verse 9. Help us with verse 9 of that same scripture. But let me see if I can share. Anybody can put it up for me, please. Joshua 1 8. Let me use my. Okay. So I have it here. Because we don't have. I don't think that's a complete definition. That's not a complete definition. Okay, I think nobody can put Joshua chapter 1 verse 8 for me. Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. In fact, let me see if I can share it on the screen. Just a minute. Let me see if I can have it on the screen. Yes, can you guys see it on the screen? Can we see it on the screen? If you can see it, let me know in the comments. Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. I don't think it's a holistic definition. Okay. So Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, it says, this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night, that thou shalt observe to do according to all that is written in it. It says, for then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. And then you will have good success. Very, very interesting scripture. Please take note that the Bible did not say that this is the definition of success. It only told us how to have the success. So I got to find out, I got to discover that the Bible never told us what good success is as per a definition. The Bible never told us what good success is. Let me switch back to my screen. Okay. So the Bible never told us what good success is as per a definition. The Bible only told us how to have good success. Only told us how to have good success. Just a moment. So the Bible only tells us good, how to have good success, right? So I tried to come up with my own definition, still cutting across some of the very important subjects that I saw in the Bible. Tried to come up with my own definition, and everything I did was to no avail. I'm sorry to let us know that I do not have one holistic definition of success. What I have, or what I have been able to piece together, are parameters that define good success. Parameters that define good success. I don't believe that there is one singular definition that can do justice to what success is. The best we can do is to define the parameters that make for good success. And that's what I want to share in tonight, finally, before we wrap up. The parameters that make for good success. And I'm going to list them out for us. There are 4 of them. Make sure you pay attention. These 4 parameters must be at the center of your pursuit for success. So as you pursue success, you must check for these parameters. If they are not in your life, you need to go back and retrace your step. Let me tell you, else you are going to end up in a place that you will regret. So, and don't just look at people and say they are successful. Check out for these parameters that I am about to share with you. If you do not find these parameters, then that person is not successful. Write this down. The last discourse, and then we're done for tonight. The true measures of goods, the true measures of success, in bracket, attributes that define good success. Final heading. The true measures of success, in bracket, or you can use column, attributes that define good success. Number 1, what are the qualities, what are the attributes, what are the ingredients that make somebody successful? That when you look at these attributes, you can say truly with your heart that I am successful, or you can say truly and say that person is successful. If you don't see these parameters, then I tell you, no matter what the person have, no matter what the person has done, they are not successful. The first attribute, the first measure of success is what I call peace of mind. Write it down. Somebody write that down in the comment. Peace of mind. It doesn't matter what you have. If you don't have peace of mind, I tell you, you are not successful. Mark chapter 8, verse 36. Let me put it up again. Mark chapter 8, verse 36. Mark 8:36. Switch my screen. Mark 8:36. Peace of mind. This is the first attribute that define good success. Yeah. It says, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Let me see if I can check if there's the NLT. Okay, let me just make do with what we have here. What shall it profit a man? Very interesting scripture. What shall it profit Emmanuel Ahmadu if he makes 1 billion, if he has 20 million likes and views on Facebook, but yet loses his soul? The word soul is a very interesting word. That word soul is a combination of your spirit and your mind. Let's imagine you don't even believe that you have a spirit. Because there are people who don't believe in spiritual things. When you talk about spirit, let's talk about soul. Your soul is a combination of your will, your emotions, and your intellect. There are people who are billionaires, I tell you, who cannot sleep. There are people who are billionaires. Believe me, I'm sure that we've read about, people who committed suicide, yet they are very successful and very wealthy. And you're wondering, why does this person think like this? Why would you kill yourself when you have so much money and all of that? Let me tell you, that person has lost their peace of mind. The first parameter, the first indices, the greatest measure of good success is peace of mind. And it is a combination of three things: peace with God, peace with men, and peace with yourself. If you don't have peace with God, if you don't have peace with men, if you don't have peace with yourself, it will be impossible for you to say you are successful. This is the classical example of what happened to Judas. Judas was concerned about money, but he did not know that there is an indices that measures success that is called peace of mind. So Judas betrayed Jesus. He got the 30 shekels of silver, but he lost something valuable. What he lost is called peace of mind. He held the 30 shekels of silver, but he could not spend it. How many of us have achieved some kind of success, but you just lost your peace because you know that how you got this thing, Kai, it will not allow you spend it. Let me tell you, the people you see do Yahoo, Yahoo, and all of that. Outwardly, you see them displaying their cars, you see them displaying their possessions and all of that. But trust me, in the night when you are sleeping, they cannot sleep. When you wake up in the morning and you are worshiping God, when you wake up in the morning and you are, you are just at peace doing the things that you are doing, I tell you, they don't have that. This is why you should not admire people just because of what they have, because peace is not tangible. Peace of mind is not something you can see on social media. It's not something that somebody can snap and post and put it on their social media pages. So we don't value it. But let me tell you, the greatest commodity you can have on earth is called peace of mind. If you lose your peace, anything else you have is a waste. Believe me, if you lose your peace, how about, relationship with God? Let me talk about this. There are people who believe that, I can live my life anyhow, God does not exist. Let me tell you, if you live your life from the perspective that there is no God, or without reverence and fear of God, you will do a lot of things that will shock you. When you see people kill people and do immoral things, it's because they do not have God at the back of their mind. That's why a generation that does not know God is a generation that will be destructive. A generation that takes God out of the equation is a generation that will do very destructive things. Look at America, for example, or Europe. Look at the kinds of things that are happening. Somebody just wakes up and says he likes a brother wakes up and says he likes another brother. Can you imagine? A lady wakes up and says she wants to marry her cat or she wants to marry her dog. This is what happens, and to them, that is a standpoint of success. They are trying to find meaning. Are you seeing it? But they lose their peace. They lose their peace. I rather live as if there is a God and die only to discover that there is no God than for me to live as if there is no God and die only to discover that there is a God. Peace of mind is very valuable. So whilst you are pursuing success, while you are pursuing money, whilst you are pursuing social media likes, check and be sure that you have not lost your peace in the process. Check and be sure that you have not compromised on your peace of mind in the process. There are people who pursue material success at the expense of their peace of mind. That's not success. The kind of success that will not allow me to sleep, I don't want it. I rather live in one room, a hut, and be able to sleep and have peace of mind than to live in a mansion where ghosts are chasing me up and down, where I cannot sleep, where I have to take drugs to sleep. I hope you know there are people who take drugs to sleep. Some of us need to value what you have. I know you don't have money now, but value what you have, value peace. I know you don't have 200 million likes on social media. I know that people are not admiring you, people are not clapping for you, but you have peace of mind. Let me tell you, you have something. There are people who will give up anything to have peace of mind, anything whatsoever. Anything. Somebody, in fact, write in the comment, anything that will take away my peace of mind, I don't want it. Anything is a decision you have to make in advance. Because I tell you, there are things that will come. There are things that will come, not just now, in the future, that will come and exchange your peace for that thing. He says, it is God that maketh rich and added no sorrow. There are certain things you have and it comes with sorrow. $1 million in your account, but you cannot sleep. Your conscience has been said. What then? You are spending money from a standpoint of fear. Imagine somebody who did a covenant with their life and they say they are going to die in 10 years, but they want to have all the money in the world. Does it make sense? How you will be spending that money, you will not enjoy it at all. There are people who do money ritual and they tell them you cannot give part of this money to your family members. That's one of the covenant of that sacrifice, that you will not give this money. You will see your brothers, you will see your sisters, you will see them suffer, but you cannot. The day you help them is the day you die. What kind of success is that? Any success that will take away my peace of mind, I don't want it. Any success, I don't care. I'm contented with what I have. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Many of us, honestly, we have not been in situations where we have been tempted with the kind of success that will take away our peace of mind. Where they come and tell you all you have to do is just to do this. Are you seeing it? If you are a politician or something, they tell you just sign on this document, a corrupt document. They say just sign and we'll give you 10 billion. And you sign and that 10 billion comes, but you can't sleep in the night because you know that you have contributed to creating a substandard building. Sometimes I wonder how all these our politicians that steal 100 billion, 200 billion, I wonder how they sleep, honestly. I think, is it the Bible now that says there is no peace for the wicked? Even if it's not the Bible that said it, we introduce it to the Bible. There's truly no peace for the wicked. Honestly, you cannot do evil. It's a law. You cannot do evil and have peace of mind. There are consequences that are attached to it. People do all sorts of dubious things in business now. Corruption. They do a lot of what do you call it now? A lot of corrupt practices. Somebody adds, you are selling a product that is maybe 2 naira and you add 10 naira on top of it. What kind of this thing is that? Look at what is happening in Nigeria now. We are the ones doing ourselves. You go to the market, something you bought 1,000 naira yesterday, you go back and just because they say dollar increase, the dollar increase and change the price overnight. You go to the market to go and buy and they tell you no, Organa is now 5,000 naira. Are you seeing it? People are compromising on their peace of mind just to have money, just to have success, just to have what they perceive to be success. This is the first measure of true success. If you don't see these indices in your life or in the people that you admire, then they are not successful. The second measure of true or good success is called balance. Somebody write that down. Balance. Doctors will tell you that it is important to eat what they call balanced diet. Chicken is a very delicious protein, right? Everybody likes eating chicken. But I tell you, if the only thing you eat is chicken for the next 100 days, you can die. You can die. I hope you know. Because your body needs balanced diet. It needs different kinds of nutrients. The second indices that measures true success, good success, is called balance. If your success is not balanced, it is bad success. Unbalanced success is not good success at all. You see somebody who has 10 billion in their account, yet they just lost their marriage or their marriage is suffering. That's not good success. You see somebody who is doing well financially, blazing in purpose, very healthy, and all of that, yet that person has a very, destructive or bad relationship with God. That's not success. For you to be successful, you must have what we call balance. And there are 5 key areas of life that you must seek for progress, that you must seek for results. You need progress in all these 5 areas of your life for you to be successful, for you to be truly successful. You don't need to have so much, but you need to be making progress. And this is how you will be happy. If you are not making progress in these areas, it is impossible for you to be happy. Number 1 is your relationship with God. Your relationship with God. If you are not making progress in your relationship with God, if you like, be a millionaire, let me tell you, there is going to be a spot that will not be filled even by all the money in the world. There is a spot in our heart that only God can fill. A fish is designed to survive when it stays in water. If it leaves water, it dies. Human beings are designed to survive when they stay in God. When we leave God, we die. That's how it is. So it is impossible for you to not have a relationship with God and still succeed. Practically impossible. Practically impossible. So you need to make progress in your relationship with God. The second area where you need to make progress is in the quality of your mind. Quality of your mind. Have you seen some of these are politicians? You give them mic to speak and they have to literally read everything on paper. Very dull and very daft. Imagine a president that cannot make a speech without reading paper. What kind of president is that? Go to Europe. Look at America. Look at Donald Trump. Look at the way these people speak. Quality of mind. You are a president and the only thing that you have is position and money. You are not successful. You are not successful. There are many people who are pursuing money. You tell them, come and teach us 5 minutes. What are the laws that make you successful? And the person comes and is just speaking a lot of garbage and rubbish from their mind. It is important for you to upgrade your mind. It is important for you to have a sound mind. There are people when you tell them, read books, reading is very good for success. They tell you, say, oh boy, forget that thing. Who reading book help? Just go for Kalu. Remember, remember Kalu. Kalu. Anytime you hear me say Kalu, know that is money. I hope that my friend is here. It's one of my closest friends. Is his brother. Any small thing, we wake up in the morning. I want to have devotion. He will say, bros, don't forget to add Kalu for this your prayer. Can you imagine somebody who is so obsessed with money? Now, money is very important. You see, I'll be talking about it very shortly. But if you have money and you don't have a sound mind, there are people who cannot speak well. Huh? You are a young lady, they say introduce yourself, and you stand up and you say, my name is this, Esther this. Even if you have 10 million in your account, you are not successful. You need a sound mind. The quality of your mind is a major path of your success. The third area where you need to be successful, for your success to be holistic, for your success to be balanced, is in your area of your health and physical outlook. Your health and physical outlook. If you have money and you now have cancer or diabetes, you are not successful. In fact, health is wealth. This is why you need to pay attention to your health. Huh? Do you know I still do push-ups? I've been so busy. Not every weekend I go out to jog. As much as I am passionate about personal development, I'm also passionate about taking care of my health. I'm also passionate about taking care of my health. So I try to eat well as much as my finances can. If the only thing you drink is gari, and the answer you say is because I'm broke, can't you buy orange? Can't you one day just buy apple? How much is apple? 600 naira, 700 naira. There are people who never spend their money to buy fruit. You just buy gari. You want to just save the money. I wonder what you are saving it for. Once in a while, eat well. Eat well. I'm tempted to say, tell your neighbor to eat well. There are some of us, you can't remember the last time you ate well. You'll be eating beans every day, or eating spaghetti or indomie every day. Every day. You will not be healthy. Try, even when you don't have money, try to be healthy. Try to eat healthy. Balanced diet. You eat beans, balance it up with rice, buy vegetables from time to time, buy, orange, and take things that help your health. And then notice I added physical outlook. Huh? You are a wealthy person, but you dress like a madman. You are not successful. Your success must show in your appearance. Let me repeat that. Success must show in your appearance. There is a way kings dress. There is a way kings dress. There is an apparel of a king. Are you seeing it? And you don't have to have all the money in the world to dress well. Buy perfume. Smell nice. It is proof of success. When you make progress in the area of health and physical outlook, it is a parameter that defines success. If you like, have all the money in the world. If you dress like a madman, according to this definition or these parameters, you are not successful. Buy perfume, bathe every day, take care of yourself, do hygiene, cut your nails, cut your hair. The video is not so clear. You would have seen my haircut. Now, my haircut, I'm not somebody that has a sharp hairline. I think I'm almost having a bad hair or something. But I barb every week, every single week. There's no week I will not barb my hair or cut my hair. Or what is it? Is it barb? Somebody correct my English for me. There's no week I will not cut my hair. Do you know why? Because I need to look good. Is an indices that measures success. If I speak well, talk well, eat well, but I look like a foolish person, then I'm not successful. So dress well. Invest in your dressing. I've told us, if you are an LM Light, you are in the Leaders Manna Network community, you are a young man, at least have 2 suits, black and navy blue, with a white shirt, with at least 2 good tie. You are a young lady, have a very good corporate gown. And if you can, invest and get a suit. It's not the day they say you should come and stand in front of your destiny helper and you are looking for who to borrow suit from. And you now go and borrow an oversized suit that you wear that is swallowing you up. Your destiny helper will know that you borrowed this one. No, invest is a sign of success, right? And I told us it's about progress. It's not about having everything at once. You don't need to wear a suit of 200,000 for you to say you are successful. No, even if you bought what we call gonjo here, is what we call second hand, right? Second hand clothes. Many of us, you know what I'm talking about. Don't form. Many of us are starting out, so let's humble ourselves. There's what they call gonjo. I've bought it before. I used to buy it. I don't know if I buy it now. I don't think I do. I don't. But there's what they call gonjo. There's nothing wrong. You can buy something like that is very nice, iron it, put perfume on it, and people will not even know whether it's new or old. But the most important thing is that look good. The fourth indices, the fourth quality or the fourth area that you must press for progress, we're talking about balance, is in your relationships, the quality of your relationship. A person who has money, who has a good relationship with God, but does not have a good relationship with his wife or his spouse or his family, that person is not successful. There are many people who are, especially guys, there are many guys who are in a relationship and you are suffering the young lady because you don't know anything about relationship. You don't send the lady text message. You don't call her to check on her. You don't buy her gift. You just treat her like your fellow man because you don't know anything about relationship. You are not making progress. I tell you, even if you have money, you have a stable relationship with God, you are not successful. It is very important for you to make progress. Make progress in the area of your relationship, the quality of your relationships. Once in a while, I'm not married. Once in a while, I go home, to my family house just to spend time with my mother. She's alive, right? Spend time with my mother, spend time with my younger sister, just to laugh. We talk jokes, and I'm not pressing my phone. Are you seeing it? Once in a while, I find a way, to send a gift to them or to send something just to appreciate them. You need to make progress in the area of your relationships. The fifth area where you must make progress for you to be balanced, for you to have balanced success, is in the area of your finances. Your finances, your money. Money is important. Somebody write that down. Money is important. I know I've been downplaying money since, but believe me, if you are broke, you are not successful. Take note, I said definition of success solely from the perspective of finances is what is destructive. Not that money is destructive. It is when you define success only from the standpoint of money that it is destructive. If you have peace of mind, you have good relationship with God, you have a quality mind, you are healthy, and you have a quality physical outlook, you have healthy relationships, but you are broke, you are not successful. Let me make it clear now. You are not successful. It's okay to start where you are, but you need to make progress in your finances. Money is a good indices for measuring success, but it is not the only indices for measuring success. In fact, content writers, this is a very powerful quote to write down, that money is a good indices for measuring success, but it is not the only indices for measuring success. It is a good parameter for you to say somebody is successful, but it's not the only. It should not be the only factor that you check out for, but you need money. Somebody say, I need money. Money is important. If you don't have money, you will suffer, especially in this economy. The Bible says, money answereth all things. It says, money is a defense. Money is a defense. You need money. Oh, you need money. Believe me, you need money. So you need to have systems, study to make progress in your finances. Go and look for my teaching, The Pillars of Financial Prosperity. Look for that teaching, part 1 and part 2, and listen to it. You want to make progress in your finances, you need to go for knowledge. The starting point of financial prosperity is financial intelligence. The starting point of financial prosperity is the pursuit of financial intelligence. No financial intelligence, no money. He says, Thou anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. There's a relationship between what is on your head or what is in your head and what enters into your hands. You need money. You need money. Kingsley said, You need money, oh, in AGS voice. Of course. Fantastic. I'm happy to see that you guys are following. We'll wrap up shortly, but I hope you are being blessed. If you are being blessed, just comment blessed. Comment blessed. Comment blessed. The third indices. Remember, I'm sharing with us the parameters that measure good success. The parameters that measure good success. The measure, the true measure of success. And I've shared two parameters with us. Number one, peace of mind. Number two, balance. Balance. Success must be balanced for it to be said to be success. The third parameter that measures good success is called fulfillment. Write it down. Fulfillment. Let me define what fulfillment is. Fulfillment is the satisfaction derived knowing that you maximize the seasons of your life and that you are living a meaningful and impactful life. You can write that down. That fulfillment is the satisfaction derived, knowing that you maximize the seasons of your life and that you are living a meaningful and impactful life. Let me tell you, if you are not making impact, no matter how much money you have, you will not be fulfilled. Fulfillment does not come from money. There are people who have money, they are not fulfilled. I tell you, this is why a lot of people have money and they take drugs and all of those things because there's a satisfaction they are looking for. There is a kind of satisfaction that only comes when you are making impact, when you are living out your purpose. I don't have so much, but let me tell you, I'm a very successful person, a very successful man. If I die today, I die happy. Do you know why? Because right from my youth, right from when I was very young, I'm still a young person, I'm still a youth, but right from my 20s, I started living a life of impact. The Leaders Manna Network, blessing people, teaching people. For me, it's not about the money at all. You have no idea how much went out, to put together what you are seeing now. The subscriptions and all. right? For me, it's not about money is important. Though. Remember, I talked about money. Money is important, but believe me, fulfillment is something that money cannot give you. And like I said, from the definition, you will see that there are two sources of fulfillment. Number one, maximizing the seasons of your life, making the most of the seasons of your life. I've done a teaching before on the four seasons of life. There is the morning season, 0 to 25 years. There is the afternoon season, 26 to 50 years. There is the evening season, 51 to 75 years. And there is the night season, 76 and above, right? You want to get that teaching, right? And I said the morning season is the learning season of your life. The afternoon season is the season of action and execution. The evening season is the season of legacy and consolidation. The night season is the season of rest. Now, if you did not learn in your morning season and you are now learning in your afternoon season or in your evening season, you will not be fulfilled. Fulfillment comes from doing what you are supposed to do when you were supposed to do it. A person who starts making impact at age 50 will be happy, but will not necessarily be so fulfilled. Are you seeing it? When it has to do with impact, timing is very important. So maximizing the seasons of your life. And then secondly, from making progress towards purpose, from actualizing your purpose, from making impact. That's the second source of fulfillment. By the way, on Saturday, Stephen Edwards will come and be teaching us powerfully on purpose, how to discover your purpose. You don't miss that session at all. Don't miss that session at all. Stephen Edwards is somebody who has been teaching purpose for over a decade now. He's rich when it has to do with that subject. So make sure you participate. Make sure you are there live, especially for those of us who do not have so much clarity when it has to do with purpose. But your fulfillment can only come from purpose. What I'm doing now is purpose. This is my purpose. This is why Emmanuel Ahmadu exists. This is what I'm doing. And you see, that's why I'm excited. I can speak like this for 10 hours and not be tired because I'm living at the center of God's will for me. I am doing what God has called me to do. Doing what God has called me to do. Very, very important for you to live in purpose. Nowadays, people don't talk purpose again. That's it. Everybody wants to make money. Money is important, but money will not give you fulfillment. Write that down. Content writers, that's another very powerful quote. Money is important, but money alone will not give you fulfillment. Money alone will not give you fulfillment. Fulfillment comes from the knowledge that you are maximizing the seasons of your life and you are advancing towards actualizing destiny. That's how you can get fulfillment. Die empty. Masmoru would always use the word die empty. Die empty. Die empty. Somebody say, I will fulfill purpose. I will live out purpose. Let me tell you, I rather lose billions. I rather lose billions and be living in purpose than for me to have billions and live outside purpose. There are many people who see it as an achievement today. They tell them, come abroad, go to US and go to all of that. Honestly, it's not an achievement for me. My purpose, I've been sent to Africa. A bulk of what God has called me to do is to do it in Africa. If you give me a green card now to go to America, I will appreciate it, but I'll not go and live there. Are you seeing it? It is purpose that directs my destiny. Purpose directs where I stay, where I live, what I do, who I marry. Is purpose that directs my life because it's purpose that gives me joy. My God, when you know your purpose, you will struggle to sleep in the night and you will rush to get out of bed in the morning. Purpose is what makes life exciting. Purpose is what gives passion and zeal to life. I'm not a purpose coach. Stephen Edwards will come and do justice to that. But let me tell you, some of us need to go back to purpose. You cannot be successful. No matter how much billions you have, you cannot be successful. Many of the people we see who make a lot of money, it's not really the money that drives them. It is the fulfillment and satisfaction that comes from doing what they are doing. Mark Zuckerberg gives a bulk of his money. I think they said about 90% or so, right? His fulfillment comes from bringing people together. That's why he created Facebook. He did not create Facebook just to make money. He created Facebook because it was aligned to his purpose. When you are living in purpose, life becomes an exciting journey. The fourth and final indices that measures good success. I hope we're getting blessed and I hope that we're learning and we're getting value. The fourth and final indices that measures good success. The remember we're talking about the true measures of success, parameters that define good success. The fourth is sustainable. Sustainable. Let me leave it like that. I want to say sustainability, but right, sustainable. Success that is not sustainable is not good success. What do I mean? If you are a millionaire today and tomorrow you are broke, you are not successful. Any success that is not sustainable is bad success. That's why you cannot say you are a millionaire just because you have a million naira in the bank. Huh? If they remove bank charges of 15 naira, you are no longer a millionaire. You have lost your millionaire status. So a millionaire is not somebody who has a million naira in the bank. A millionaire is somebody who spends in millions and can replenish it. That's what good success is. You can replenish the success. You can replenish the success. The word replenish. Huh? Let me tell you why a lot of our politicians steal billions and they steal millions, because they know that the success that they have is not sustainable. The moment they leave office, all the people who used to rally around them will no longer rally around them again. That's why you see somebody who is a president, the moment you are no longer president, you lose 70% of your friends because you were not really successful. You see why I said title does not define success? So if your success is not sustainable, if by losing your title you no longer are successful, then you are not successful. You must be able to replenish for you to say you are successful. Huh? That's why true success only comes by growth. If somebody wins a lottery now and they give him 100 million naira, would you say that person is successful? He's not successful. Why? Because he cannot reproduce that result. That result what's the word now? He's not able to replenish that result. Right? When your success is not sustainable, it is not good success. Good success must come by growth. You don't grow big. You don't grow big to manage well. You don't grow big to manage well. You manage well to grow big. Are you seeing it? So if you want to be successful, it has to come by growth. There's a powerful illustration that Bishop Oyedepo gave one time. He said, if your father is a heavyweight champion holder and he confers his title on you, it doesn't make you a heavyweight champion holder. You will know the day that they ask you to defend that title that you are not a heavyweight champion holder. Nobody can confer success on you if you cannot replenish success. If your success is not sustainable, it's not good success. It's not good success at all. You make a million naira and you are afraid. And one of the ways you know that you don't have good success is fear of losing it. Fear, insecurity of losing it. Right? You know that this money can leave you. You know that your wife can leave you. You know that these people can leave you because what you have did not come by growth. You are not successful. These are the four major indices that measure good success. If you do not see these indices in the life of anybody that you admire, then I tell you they are not successful. I know that this is very hard, but believe me, this is a higher standard of measuring success. This is very difficult, but let me tell you, it is attainable. People will rather, you see why people will rather just camp around one dimension of success. For example, finance, and say I'm successful. Then their relationship with God is going down, their relationship with family. No, your success can be holistic. Somebody say, I can have good success and I will have good success. It is possible to have all of these. Very possible. I don't just want to be somebody who has social media likes, yet I don't have character. No, I don't just want to be somebody who has billions, but I don't have a healthy relationship with my family. I don't just want to be somebody who has a quality mind. Are you seeing it? Yet I am broke. No, I want to have holistic success. And what are the indices? What are the parameters that measure good success? Number one, I said, is peace of mind. Never trade your peace of mind for anything. Oh, never trade your peace of mind for anything whatsoever. What shall it profit a man? The Bible says, if he gains the whole world and loses his soul. I don't want that million naira if it will take my soul. This is why how you get your success matters. There are people who feel like it doesn't matter how they get their success. Remember Judas Iscariot. He sold Jesus for 600,000 naira, not even up to 600,000 naira in today's currency. And that's with the whole inflation and all. If you take it 2,000 years ago, maybe it was just around 30,000 naira or 100,000 naira. Can you imagine that foolish bargain? Right? So don't make any foolish decision out of pressure to become successful that you lose your peace of mind. How about balance? Make sure you don't go for one-dimensional success. I've made up my mind that Emmanuel Ahmadu is going to be on fire for God. Yet I will have a sound mind. I'll be able to speak with so much eloquence. When I speak to kings, they will know that this guy truly knows what he's saying. I will also have a very healthy body, right? If I need to have six pack, I will have six pack. I will know how to dress, a very healthy dress sense, right? One of the people I admire so much is Emmanuel A. Pastor Emmanuel A. Somebody, I'm sure that some of us know him. That guy is a pastor, but look at his dress sense, right? I'm going to be financially prosperous, have money. I will not be broke. I refuse to be broke. I refuse to be broke. These are my relationships are going to be very, very stable. My relationship with my family will not suffer because I'm pursuing purpose. Nah, my relationship with God will be intact. My relationship with men will be intact. And then fulfillment. I will not just go for money. I will live an impactful life. So that when I leave this world, I will not just live things. No, I will leave my name in the sands of time, right? My foot will make an indelible mark in the sands of time. My generation will know that I came and I made an impact. That when people look at their lives, they will see my footprint. They will see my handwriting in their lives, that I made an impact in their lives. What's the purpose of life if you are living for self? Life is too precious for you to live it for self. Let me tell you, anything that lives, lives for others. God did not design us to live for ourselves. You make impact. That's the only way you make fulfillment. Fulfillment comes when you are living for others, not when you are living for yourself. A tree finds fulfillment, in producing oxygen. Now, I got to discover that oxygen that we breathe is produced by trees. You see it, right? The leaves of a tree, when they fall, that's what forms manure. Everything that lives, lives by living for others, survives by living for others. It is only human beings that want to live for themselves. You want to make money so that you live in a big house. Can you imagine somebody living in a house that has 10 bedrooms and you just have only one head, two hands, and two legs? That's foolishness. Pure foolishness. I don't have any plans whatsoever to live in a 10-bedroom house. I know most people will say because you don't have the money, that's why you are not thinking. But truly, to me, it doesn't make any sense. You be sleeping in different bedroom every day? If you have two or three, that is your bedroom, it is enough. Imagine one person that has 15 cars. Sometimes you see people post the pictures of their cars as if it's an achievement. Somebody has 15 cars in their garage. And the last time they drove one of the cars was like 20 years, was like 20 months or so ago. Doesn't make any sense. Don't go for that kind of success. Don't define success from all of those mundane things. Somebody buys a Bugatti where you know you cannot drive it in Nigerian road, and you buy it, bring it to Nigeria, and you park it in your house. Instead of using that money to make impact, when you build a well in a village, or you build a borehole, not a well now, don't go and build a well. Build a borehole. You supply clean water. You bring food. Are you seeing it to people? There are lots of humanitarian crises happening all over the world. When you contribute to all of these things, that's where you find fulfillment. My God, very, very important. We need to redefine success to our generation. And then your success must be sustainable, right? Don't go for balloon success. There's what we call balloon success. People don't care about process. That's why they go for balloon success. I want 100 million likes today. Can you imagine there are people who buy likes on social media, buy followers on social media? Everything is plastic nowadays. Buy things. No. Anything I have must come by growth. Anything I have must come by growth. Your success must be sustainable. This is what true success is. This is what good success is. These are the parameters that define success. I truly hope that we got value. I truly hope that, tonight's training was impactful and we learned a thing or two from the session. If you did, let me see the fire emoji in the comments.